Hi everyone, welcome to the Culture Lab for Dubai. My name is Trinity, and
I'm Roxette Burgos.
today we're going to be talking to you about Dubai and what it's like to study abroad in Dubai. Again, my name is Trinity. I'm a fourth year criminal justice major, and I traveled to the UAE in the fall 2019 semester.
And my name is Roxette Burgos. I'm a fourth year electrical engineering major, and I went to RIT Dubai in spring 2019.
We just missed each other. So sad. So Roxette, why did you choose to study abroad in the UAE?
So I wanted to study abroad there because to me, my options were any of the global campuses because of um, because of how my scholarships were working. And so they would only be able to go with the global campuses. And RIT Dubai has a really good engineering program. So I was like, it would be easier for me to take classes there because I can transfer them easily and I can take the same curriculum. So that's why I decided RIT Dubai. Why did you decide RIT Dubai?
It's actually like kind of a long story, but I'll try to keep it short. It was really a dream come true for me. When I was 13, I went to NTID for like a program for deaf and hard of hearing students, and while I was there, they explained that RIT had a few global campuses and Dubai was one of them. So ever since then, I've been like speaking it into existence. I was like, I don't care, like what it is, I'm going. It worked out because liberal arts is pretty flexible sometimes. So I just went in my second year. It was a 6-year-old dream in the making. So pretty excited that I got to live that out.
That's such a cute story. I love that the way you manifested it and it actually came true. So while you were at Dubai, what did you like to do on the weekends or when you got out of school?
I don't want to say I'm boring, but like, I didn't really do a lot. I actually joined the volleyball team because my friend told me that I should do sports. That's pretty much what a lot of people do at RIT Dubai. So I was on the volleyball team, went to practices, went to a couple of games around the UAE. So that was pretty nice. Um, if I wasn't at volleyball practice, I would probably be at the dance club. They had a couple of workshops. I learned some cool dance moves. And on the weekends, I pretty much would do homework, explore some things. I went to a couple of comedy shows. I went to the mall and just enjoyed Dubai. Just went around, did what I could, tried to live like a local. How about you? What did you do on the weekend or
Um,
after
so
class?
I was actually on the sports team too. I played basketball, but I wasn't that good. But what I love about over there is that they were very accepting, even though I wasn't that good. Um, but I loved going shopping. So I was always at the mall every weekend going to some of the stores. Like I had my favorite stores when I went to the mall. And yeah, I loved exploring too. There was like this park down the street that I loved going just for a walk, going to like read a book or something. Yeah. So yeah, I love shopping. Um, did you have like a favorite phrase that you would say over there that you picked up on from the language over there?
Yes. There's actually a few. There's a couple of curse words. I'm not gonna say those, but my favorite one is mashallah. You pretty much say it like after you compliment someone. I'm sure you know, but I still comment under my friends' posts. They like if they look like absolutely stunning. I'll just be like, "Oh my God, you're so gorgeous, mashallah," and they're like, "Oh my God, you still use it?" And I'm like, "Yes, of course." Yeah, that has to be one of my favorite phrases. How about you? What did you like to say?
Okay, so I can't say it correctly. They always they clowned me for it because I never knew how to say it correctly. But I love saying inshallah. And yeah, that was like one of my favorite things to say. And then I would hear like the teachers say it all the time. And then I ended up catching on to it. That was like one of my favorite things.
That was my second choice. I was like, I don't know if I say mashallah or inshallah. I still say both. And I'm like, wait, hold up.
So,
So Roxette, what was the most unusual thing that you ate?
okay. Well, there was two. So first, I had took during spring or one of the trips. I took a trip to Africa, and then I ended up going to this place that they had. It was like a steakhouse, so they had all the different types of meat that you would eat, and I ate ostrich and was it and crocodile. So that was very odd for like a trip. Um, at Dubai, I had I had a camel. That was like the probably the weirdest thing that I ate there. What about you? What was strange?
So yeah, I had camel meat sliders in Abu Dhabi. I was like, this is, it was interesting. I probably wouldn't have it again. Um, it was weird because we were at one of the excursions at it's a palace, some palace, it's beautiful, and we all ordered like different things and we were gonna like sample, and I was like, oh, okay, a burger's not gonna be too bad, like it's okay. And then we ate it and we were like, this doesn't taste like beef. And they were like, oh, it's probably camel. And I was like, the one that we just rode? Like, I don't, like, it was just like weird, you know? I don't know. That just wasn't, it was something else. Something else.
Yes, definitely an experience. Um, so now that we talked about all of this stuff, what about any touristy things that you think was totally worth it?
You know, we did a lot of things, you know, like going to the desert and like things like that. But I think the one thing that's like absolutely worth it is going to the top of the Burj Khalifa. Like that experience, if you I went at night and it was just absolutely amazing. You could see the fountain show from up top. And it's crazy because I saw the fountain show at the Dubai Mall my first night, and then closer to the end of my trip, I met with my mom and my sister, and we were just like freaking out at the Sky Lounge. We were treated like royalty. We walked outside and like we just saw these lights, and I was like, this is amazing. And then we got back out, and I was like, oh, I can't get that experience anymore. But it was probably pretty, it was, I think it was expensive. It was included in our package, so that was good. But I think it's totally worth it. How about you?
Mine was something you already mentioned, the Dubai Safari. I think that's definitely worth it. Doing was it the sand duning and riding a camel because I experienced all that when I did a Dubai safari. I mean, yeah, the safari, the desert safari. And then looking at the different performers and because they feed you, it's like a whole day event, which makes it I think definitely worth it.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was also pretty fun. It was weird. I went on a desert safari twice, and I think the second time it was a little bit better because we went with all of the students at RIT Dubai, and it was just fun. I had friends that were belly dancing along with the performers, so that was interesting. I have videos. We can share them.
and did you cross off anything from your bucket list?
So really, like this trip was my bucket list. I had like no, I had no expectations. I kind of wish that like I did. Like I know, like I could have went jet skiing. I could have done a whole bunch of things. But you know, I did a lot of things. I went hiking, camped in the desert. I met some celebrities. I saw Migos, two thirds.
Really?
Quavos and I saw Quavo and Takeoff, and I was like, "Yep, this is how it is." And you know, really like having my mom and my sister visit, and because they manifested it themselves too. So that was pretty much my bucket list. It just happened. How about you?
I have to agree with you. I actually didn't have any expectations either. I wish I did. I wish I made a list of exactly the things that I wanted to do so I can like cross them off easily. But I definitely did a lot of exciting things. Yeah, I can't pinpoint like out of all of them what's my favorite. Everything was, it was definitely a like once in a lifetime type of experience. Was there a product that you missed going into Dubai?
Okay, so don't make fun of me. I know like I'm gonna sound like a child, but I really miss like grape jelly. I could not find grape jelly anywhere, and like they had like mixed berry jelly, and I would make myself peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I would be so upset because you need that protein after volleyball. You need a little snack, but it was just not the same. I was just like, when I came home, I wanted like an authentic peanut butter and jelly sandwich. All my friends made fun of me because they were like, "Oh, you're so American for wanting a peanut butter and jelly sandwich." But I was like, you know what? You don't know. And I also wanted like Welch's fruit snacks. I don't think I could get them anywhere because of the gelatin. And I couldn't find like a decent burger. I don't know. Maybe that camel meat burger just like scarred me, and I was just like, I can't eat any like red meat. I barely ate red meat while I was over there. So how about you? What did you miss anything, or did you have to like go out of your way to buy something?
For me, it was two things. So one was my hair product, the Sheer Moisture for my curls. I couldn't find that any store. I had to like go to the Amazon. I had to look on the Amazon. It wasn't called Amazon before. It was a different name. I forgot. But I had to order it online, like Shea Moisture product. And then another thing was my mom's cooking, because I had to like learn how to cook by myself or order food, and it none of it was my mom's. So as soon as I got back, I definitely had like a plate of my mom's cooking.
That's so sweet. So speaking of like, going back, and we've been back home for a while. So what are your highs and lows of your time in Dubai?
Um, I would say my lows would have been I took some very serious and like hard, not extremely hard, but like I had took classes that were focused on my major instead of, and I wish I would have took like my immersion classes over there, and I think I would have had like a easier time to like be able to go exploring more. I just felt like I didn't really have the chance to do that because I had to study for like finals and midterms and like that. Um, for my highs, I think every excursion that I did over there, it was definitely a high, just because it was like a first time thing. Like how many people can say they've been to the world's biggest mall or the world's tallest building? Not a lot of people say it. So when I go telling people like, hey, yeah, I studied abroad and I did this, they're like, oh my gosh, because it's just so different and unique. Did you have any highs and lows?
Yeah, so my lows, I have a few, well, a couple of lows. One low would be that like I took classes way too seriously and I did not need to. I took gen ed classes, but I was just like, I can't fail. And I was like so hung up on like doing my homework. And there were times where, my friends wanted to hang out, but I was just like, no, I wanna I wanna get my grade in. But like I really did not have to. Um, like yes, my GPA thanks me. But other than that, it's like I'd rather have the memories. So that's probably one low. Another low would be that like I didn't know how to adult when I first came in. I came straight from dorms and like I never had to like cook for myself, never had to go grocery shopping by myself. So like when I went grocery shopping, I just bought all this food. I wasted a lot of money, wasted a lot of food because the food went bad. They don't have a lot of like preservatives, which is good. Food's healthier, but I just didn't know that. I was like, oh, my food's gonna last forever, like it does in America. Nope, pretty bad. Um, Another low would have to be, this is probably really cheesy, but it would have to be leaving Dubai. Like, I actually cried for like so long. I cried on a plane. I cried when I left. Like, I cried when I was home. I was like, I don't like it here. Take me back. But my highs, I had a lot, just like you. Like, every excursion was pretty much like the best thing ever. But really, like, the people made it better. I really call them like my second family. I love them all to death, all my friends there. I love the memories that I made. I always reminisce. I wouldn't trade my time there for anything else, to be honest. So it's a pretty great time.
That sounds exciting. I'm sure you'll probably go back in the future and visit and just take it all in again. So we do have a game that we use a number generator to do. We're gonna play a photo game. We had a set numbers, and then we chose which pictures from that well, I forgot the numbers, but it was like 100 and something picture in our album, and then we're gonna talk about it. So Trinity has a little presentation.
Okay, so here's our presentation. That's actually the Burj Khalifa peeking there. This is the city of Dubai. Pretty cool. This is where we met, y'all. Anyway, so Roxette, you're up first with your 172nd photo.
So this is me at the, I apologize if I'm saying it incorrectly, at the Sheikh Zayed Mosque in Abu Dhabi, which is funny. So this picture, the person that was taking this picture was the other guy who was doing study abroad with me, and he was like on the grass, laying down, like trying to get a good angle, and everyone was just like looking. This is one of the, I don't really know a lot of information about this mosque. But I know it's definitely a tourist spot. A lot of people go here. You have to be covered. So that's why I am wearing a scarf on my head. You can't really see it because my hair is covering. But yes, that is my 170. Okay, yes, that is that picture.
I also loved that excursion, but that was not my 172nd photo. This was I actually went to Motion Gate theme park. Again, I'm a child. And no, I love roller coasters. So seeing this was pretty cool. I had a friend who was an Emirati. He was actually deaf, and his cousin was deaf too. So we all decided, and there was another student, a grad student, who was also deaf. So really, the four of us, we bonded over our deafness, and we went to the theme park, and we had a great time. He took the photo for me, and yeah, it was just pretty good. We spent the whole day there. And I just snapped this photo before we went on a really cool ride. There was one ride, I can't remember the name of it, but like it was probably one of the best roller coasters I've ever been on, and like 10 out of 10 would recommend, even though there's one of me. The next photo is 264. Roxette, what do you want to say about that?
So this is the top of the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world. Actually, I was telling Trinity earlier about this. So there's like a time limit right when the sun falls. That's like it costs like, I forget, it's like 300 dirhams or something. It was really expensive, but like right before the time, it's cheaper. It's like 200 dirhams less. And I was able to secure a ticket right before, and then I stood longer, so I was able to see like the sunset, and it was like I saw it the daytime and nighttime, which is a really beautiful picture. And this place is actually, so it's a part of the program, so like they paid for this excursion. Yeah, and that water is the
Literally
Dubai.
the best one. Like, her photo is amazing. My phone was awful back then, so I couldn't capture anything like this. I went at night,
Oh,
so
really?
it looks totally different.
Yes.
Okay, so this photo is not as cool. but I don't know. I thought it was kind of artsy. I was really surprised when I saw that this was 246. I actually had a, we'll say, extended family member who actually lived in Dubai, and she showed me around a little bit. She lives in Sharjah, and she had to go pray, and she was like, "Oh, you can come in and like, do what you want to do." And I asked if it was all right to take pictures, and I ended up with this really cool shot, and it was just pretty nice. Mosques are pretty beautiful. They're really nice with intricate patterns. You can't really see in this photo, but like on the ceiling, there's like geometric patterns, and it's pretty nice. Um, really calming. So yeah, that's all. But thank you. I think that's the end, right? Like,
It's and
so
if you guys want to like contact us, and we put our social media handles for Instagram there. If you guys had any more questions, anything else about our experience in Dubai, feel free to reach out to us.